fan tried to give his semen to this adult star, Aiden Starr, and this adult entertainer. Taylor Madison's top subscriber turned out to be her stepdad. If you think that's creepy, that's half the horror fans put adult stars through. When asked about their craziest fan experience, these adult stars held nothing back. You see, some fans take their obsession to extreme levels, not just seeking attention from their favorite adult stars, but even threatening their lives. Sharon Mitchell's tragic experience. The adult film industry seems fun and exciting. We have also seen stars do the wildest stuff on camera, but the truth is, it's scripted. Once the camera clicks off, adult stars are human with feelings like everyone else and not playthings. However, the sad truth is, adult content creators have been mistreated and preyed on by fans who can't differentiate fiction from reality. Former adult star Sharon Mitchell almost lost her life when she was attacked by one of such fans. Mitchell's career spanned 2 decades, appearing in over 1,000 adult films. You'll agree with me that someone who has contributed so much to the industry has earned her respect and paid her dues. Yet Sharon Mitchell has been disrespected and stigmatized by the same fans she has worked hard to entertain. 1996 was a good year for Mitchell until it wasn't anymore, and she found herself battling for her life. Sharon Mitchell was on the night shift in a bar in Los Angeles. It was a good night and the bar was packed. Many of the regulars were hooting and calling her derogatory names, but she was used to this. One fan in particular was the loudest. This fan was in front of the stage and he kept hooting and yelling obscenities at Mitchell to get her attention. Mitchell didn't think his behavior was odd because this scene wasn't something out of the blues. Later that night, Mitchell was anxious to get home because she was badly in need of a heroin fix. Once she got off work, she headed straight for her apartment, unaware that the man from the bar had followed her. As Mitchell was about to get into her apartment, the stalker came out of the shadows and attacked her. He knocked her to the ground and left her severely injured. Mitchell fought hard for her life, but her attacker was stronger than her. She lost 3 of her teeth during this horrid encounter and her vocal cord was damaged. As she fought for her life, Mitchell had a deep thought. I've never had an education, never had a legitimate job, I've never even been a mother. So help me God, if I manage to live through this, I will change my life. You may be wondering why a fan would viciously attack a performer they claim to love. Obsession. The man who attacked Mitchell was obsessed with her films. When a person is driven by obsession, it could be dangerous. Fortunately, Mitchell was able to get hold of a dumbbell which she used to knock him out. 2 years after she got out of the hospital, she fulfilled the promise she made to herself on that tragic night. Mitchell left the adult movie industry to begin a new life. Despite facing financial challenges, she worked hard to become a licensed addiction counselor. Before her counseling career took off, Mitchell worked as a video engineer's assistant, a florist, maid, dog walker, and a caterer on low-budget mainstream films. I was willing to do anything, she shared. I just didn't want to do. Mitchell's hard work paid off and she succeeded in transforming her life. She obtained a MA and a PhD from the Institute for Advanced Study of Human Sexuality. Now, let's dive deeper into the horror stars face at the hands of their fans. Adult star Aiden Starr is used to receiving ridiculous gifts from fans, but one fan took the definition of creepy to a whole new level with his ridiculous burrito request. Aiden Starr's burrito-obsessed fan. Star fans are so unpredictable that even the stars have no idea what they might do next.
Earlier today, someone said they wanted to eat a burrito out of my ass.
See how twisted that is? Aiden Starr has been in the adult movie industry since 2000 and has appeared in over 900 films. So, it's no surprise that she has amassed a large following of die-hard fans who are so into her content that a few have tried to give her their semen. Each time Aiden Starr refuses such intimate gifts, the fans take it personally and lash out at her. But she has this message for her fans.
Whenever fans feel like they want to give me something that I don't want, like their semen or something like that, that's always very freaky. Flowers, great. Present, awesome. I don't need your semen.
Imagine receiving a gift from a fan and it's a jar filled with semen. I'm sure you would also be horrified. Let's revisit the time when adult content creator Taylor Madison found out that her top fan is in fact the biggest creep on Earth. Taylor Madison discovers creepy secret. OnlyFans star Taylor Madison made a discovery about her biggest subscriber and fan that left her extremely distressed. See, this fan was one of the first few subscribers Tyla had when she newly started out as an adult content creator. Plus, he was her biggest fan as he had spent $2,000 on her content. For 2 months, she created intimate content for him and was at his command. This fan found different, humiliating ways to squeeze out every cent he spent on her. In addition, he had unusual demands. He would demand for a photo of Tyla's underwear when she was at work, and he was specific about which rooms she filmed herself in. At the time, Tyla lived with her mother and stepdad, but her top subscriber subscriber wouldn't let her film in the bathroom where she could have more privacy. It was like he was living a perverted fantasy through her. "I like it better when you are on your bed or on the carpet," he told her. This went on for 2 months until Tyla discovered the identity of her fan, who had been a follower since the start of her career. I'll highlight a few important points. This fan had a specific username that wasn't just something random. Perhaps he had chosen the username so no one would figure out his identity. Apart from that, he communicated with Tyla every day, and he was her biggest spender, so she knew his username by heart. Tyla had no reason to be wary of her fan's identity, so she continued to create content for him for 2 months. However, her fan took an action that aroused her suspicion. This guy viewed Tyla's TikTok profile, which was no big deal until she got a notification that he was one of the contacts on her phone. Tyla was horrified at the thought of her #1 subscriber being someone she knew. "I went absolutely mental trying to figure out who this person was from my contacts. I narrowed it down to 6 people, and one of them was my stepdad," Tyla shared. Tyla went with her gut feeling and messaged her stepdad on his OnlyFans account and said, "I know who this is." "Within 2 minutes, I got a text from my stepdad saying, 'Hey Ty, can we talk?'" Tyla recalled. Afterward, Tyla informed her sisters and mother about what her stepdad had done. As expected, they were devastated. After Tyla's mother and sisters confronted her stepdad, he packed his bags and left home. Then Tyla's family turned on her, blaming her for ruining her mother's marriage. It took a while, but Tyla rebuilt her relationship with her mom and siblings. Still, she felt betrayed and hurt by a man she had known since she was 11 years old, a man who had been like a father to her. Tyla is still nervous about seeing her stepdad, who left home the day she exposed him. Like I said, there's no telling what these fans could get up to. Some adult movie fans are often up to no good, bringing adult talents who just want to make a life for themselves into their mess. Another example was when adult star Nikki Huntsman encountered a fan with a death wish. Nikki Huntsman's fan from hell. Since Nikki Huntsman's debut film, she has encountered numerous fans, both the good and the weirdos. However, she would forever remember the fan who had gotten under her skin with his spine-chilling request.
I had a fan message me on Instagram a picture of their dick asking me if I would chop it off for $1,000.
Well, Nikki would never know if he was serious or messing with her because she turned down his weird offer. Interestingly, Romy Chase's fan posted footage of himself repeatedly running into a palm tree. Then Romy found out the reason for his disturbing behavior, and she realized how much danger she was in. Romy Chase's disturbing revelation. Talented star Romy Chase felt unfulfilled with her teaching job, so she quit it to pursue a career in adult content creation. However, her career exposed her to dangers from a fan who couldn't handle rejection. A man sent a photo of his male organ to Romy on Twitter, and since she was used to getting similar messages, she ignored him. Then he sent another explicit photo to her, but this time around she responded with a puke face emoji, and afterward she blocked him. A week later, Romy began to receive emails from a stranger. But that's not all. This person flooded her Instagram DM with messages and spammed her backup page. Initially, Romy didn't realize he was the fan who sent her the explicit photos. She became worried when she did some digging and found out that he was the fan she blocked. He had created another social media profile with the same username to stalk her. Once again, Romy ignored him, but he began to post clips of himself running into a palm tree. He told Romy she was the palm tree and he was going to hurt her just as he was attacking the tree in the video. Romy was tough, but this fan had gotten to her with his continuous threats. She called the cops and reported the threats against her life. Romy Chase had a difficult childhood because of her mother's mental health issues. She had tried so hard to prove herself to her mother, but it only drove her off the brink of sanity. Sadly, Romy developed mental health issues due to being constantly mistreated by her mother. Then her parents passed away, and Romy and her sister were adopted by their uncle. The girls were badly neglected by their new family, and at the age of 17, Romy ran away from home, and later on, she became an adult performer. Moving on, the adult movie industry attracts different types of people, and there's no way of filtering who views your content. Hence, the reason why fans who seem to have lost touch with reality get access to stars. In the case of adult star Jess West, no one was safe from the manipulations of her delusional fans, not even her. Jess West's delusional fan. One fan believes he is married to award-winning star Jess West. He's crazy enough to believe she was not only married to him, but she was in love with him. Jess West's life became a nightmare when a fan with extreme obsession began to stalk everyone in her life. Even though Jess had never met this fan, in his head, they were a couple, and she belonged to him. "Why is my wife doing this to me?" This was the signature post he made about her each time she worked with a male performer. Jess is in a relationship with fellow star Dimitri, but it didn't stop the deluded fan from trying to insert himself into her life. To elaborate further, this fan claimed that that whenever he had a fight with Jess, she would go out and cheat on him. Jess was forced to block him when he continued to make up scenarios about their non-existent marriage. The scariest part was that he created 3 more social media accounts, which he used to stalk male performers who worked with her. Jess's stalker fan went off the edge when she posted a photo of herself and her boyfriend Dimitri on a date. The fan was so pissed that he messaged Jess's boyfriend, threatening to break his nose because he had taken his wife on a date. When he failed to rile Jess and Dimitri, his twisted mind came up with an eerie story about Jess that was totally false. He claimed that his relationship with Jess was strained because she had a traumatic childhood. Jess was still dealing with this nerve-wracking horror when she learned that a strange man showed up at her mother's door, asking for her. Jess didn't know if the person asking her was a stalker fan. On screen, Jess seems like the girl next door with a perfect life. In contrast, Jess West has an uneasy life because of her fans. One time, a fan leaked Jess's personal information and exposed her real name online. These crazy stunts that Jess's fans have been pulling have traumatized her so much that she no longer rides on the public bus. She's constantly scared of being followed, and when a fan recognized her in public, she would lie about her identity. Despite her terrifying fan experiences, Jess West has not considered leaving the industry. See, Jess's fears are valid. For real, some star fans are so weird that you would think they literally crawled out of a zombie thriller. Veteran star Lisa Ann encountered one of such fans one night and ended up in the ER. Lisa Ann's horror encounter. Lisa Ann has been in the adult movie industry since the 90s, and she has seen it all. Still, she was stunned when a fan asked her if she could pull out her teeth and sell them to him. No one is so dumb to knock out a couple of teeth and hand them out to a fan on a silver platter. Moreover, Lisa Ann didn't even give it a thought because she knew the consequences of such an action.
I know that if you take out teeth, they're gonna shift.
Lisa Ann became famous in the 90s, but this fame came with a heavy price tag: her safety. One of her most unsettling experiences with a fan landed her in the hospital. Let's go back to the 90s. Young and beautiful Lisa Ann was dancing in a nightclub. In fact, she had been stripping since she was 16. On that night, Lisa Ann was dancing and passing out posters. After a while, she put the posters between her legs. Lisa Ann thought it would be funny if the guys took the posters out with their teeth. Sounds like a good idea until she felt a sharp pain in her inner thigh. One of the guys had bitten her leg deep enough to cut out some chunk of skin. Lisa Ann was in so much pain and disoriented by the sudden attack. Once she pulled herself together, she knew she had to go to the hospital right away to ensure that she hadn't been infected by her attacker. Fortunately, the cut wasn't too deep for her to get stitches, but her attacker had left 6 teeth marks on her skin. Lisa Ann showed up every night for her fans for almost 30 years, but it wasn't something she enjoyed doing. You've really got to be on guard. You've always got to be thinking about where somebody's hands are. If somebody had too much to drink, and they might throw up, she recalled. Decades after leaving the industry for her safety, the adult star still lives in fear. As unbelievable as it may seem, it's true. One individual was so desperate to meet adult performer Danny Daniels that he ended up in trouble and blamed her for it. Danny Daniels faces lawsuit. As bizarre as it sounds, Danny Daniels was sued by her fan because he wanted to meet her in person. This fan was so desperate to meet his favorite screen diva that he fell for a scam. 56-year-old Uber driver James R. Weidenborner thought he was saving Danny Daniels when he sent $1,800 to someone pretending to be the star. The fraudster claimed Danny Daniels was stuck in Ghana and needed the money. Danny Daniels had never met Weidenborner, but he was attracted to younger women like the star, and he had followed a fake page believing it belonged to her. When Weidenborner realized he had been scammed, he searched out the address of the real Danny Daniels and sued her in a small claims court. It would seem like Weidenborner wanted his money back, but it turned out that he was taking advantage of the situation to meet Danny Daniels. Daniels countersued him, asserting that the lawsuit was a trick to force her to meet Weidenborner, who sued her under her stage name. Weidenborner isn't the first person to fall for this scam, as there are hundreds of fake pages on the internet using the identity of known stars. In fact, in a week, Danny and her husband reported about 20 fake pages that had stolen her identity. The star posted a disclaimer on her verified page, saying she's not stuck in Ghana and she does not have any family who would need help either. I'm married, I'm in NYC, I'm not studying nursing, I'm not stuck in Ghana, I'm not on any dating sites, I don't have any special private personal profiles, I don't have a sister, a twin, or a family member that needs help. Be smart. I don't want you sending money to people pretending to be me, she warned. Weidenborner prisoner finally met Danny Daniels in court, but it was for a few minutes. Surprisingly, he didn't show up for the hearing, and his claim was dismissed. Danny Daniels, on the other hand, is not backing down from her lawsuit. She's prepared to press charges against the Uber driver for wasting her time. In 2017, tragedy struck the adult movie industry when talented star August Ames's body was found in a park near her home. Before her death, August had suffered mental health issues due to the love-hate relationship between her and her fans. August Ames's tragic end. "We are meant to be together," a fan emailed August Ames. This seemingly harmless email became an everyday occurrence that drove August crazy. Months later, August was still receiving emails from her love-stricken fan, who was determined to make her fall in love with her. "We are getting married. You love me," he insisted in his emails to her. When August began to mark his emails as spam, he started sending his used clothes and appliances to her agent for her. August found this behavior very weird and never collected the items from her agents. August could tell this guy liked her and she wanted to be nice to him. But she couldn't get over the fact that he was sending her stuff from his house. He stopped emailing her and began to send her letters, telling her to stock up on his stuff because he was going to move in with her. August was greatly disturbed because each day she received big boxes filled with her fans' clothes. He even sent her a toaster oven, and he asked her to plug it in because he was coming soon. In 2017, August Ames, who was at the end of her wits, killed herself. Before her death, August talked about her struggles with her mental health and how she was stigmatized for creating adult content. August's fans and colleagues labeled her a homophobe after she tweeted this. "Whichever lady is replacing me tomorrow, you're shooting with a guy who has shot gay just to let you know. Do agents really not care about who they're representing? I do my homework for my body." Afterwards, she was criticized and trolled on the internet for not wanting to perform with a gay actor. "Not homophobic," August responded to critics. "Most girls don't shoot with guys who have shot gay for safety. That's just how it is with me. I'm not putting my body at risk. I don't know what they do in their private lives." But it seemed like no one wanted to hear her explanation. Fellow star Jackson Wheeler, who has now deactivated his Twitter account, tweeted this in response to August's post. "The world is awaiting your apology or for you to swallow a cyanide pill. Either or will take it." A few days after her tweet, August left a suicide note for her parents, apologizing for taking her own life. Ironically, her death drew attention to the decay of the adult industry. For example, stars often face harassment and cyberbullying, not just from fans, but from fellow stars. Next, we have Sheridan Love, whose fan asked her to go to a hotel room. His reason for asking is not just disgusting, it makes one wonder if this guy is sane. Sheridan Love's psycho fan. Yep, a fan told Sheridan Love to go to a hotel room, and he also asked her to use the toilet. Now you are wondering what he's up to. Well, he specifically asked her not to flush the toilet so he could eat her feces. The weirdest thing is that another adult performer, Cassandra Rain, encountered a gentleman fan who made a similar offer to her. Cassandra Rain's unhinged fan. A fan who appeared to be a gentleman turned out to be a creep with a twisted mind. This gentleman wanted to get a hotel room so Cassandra Rain could pay him a visit, but the plot twist is, he hoped that she would use the toilet so he could eat her body waste. As a gentleman, he said it was up to her if she wanted to stay and watch him carry out the crazy act, but she was free to leave if she wasn't interested in watching him. This was an extremely nauseating experience for the star, and from her facial expression, you can tell how disgusted she was. Sometimes fans learn the hard way when they mess with the wrong star. For example, a fan threatened adult star Jenna J. Ross, and she sent him to jail. Jenna J. Ross sends fan to prison. Jenna J. Ross had a terrifying fan experience during her first year in the industry. One fan became obsessed with her, but instead of sending her a nice present, he began to send clips of dead star's memorial to her. He also sent her images of coffins, telling her he couldn't wait to pick out hers. But that's not the only bad fan experience Ross has had. Another fan threatened to kill her on the live video streaming app, Periscope. Ross was terrified, but she didn't let the fan get away with it. She reported him to the FBI and sent him to jail. Ross seems to attract all sorts of fans, especially the ones with silly antics up their sleeves.
I had a fan come up and lick my belly button without asking.
Most stars know their fans can't be trusted. Still, it's sweet when someone does something nice for you. That's the reason why adult star Cadence Lux let down her guard when a fan did something nice for her, but he wasted no time in revealing his true colors to her. Cadence Lux, blackmailed by fan. A guy created a fan page for adult film actress Cadence Lux. He seemed like a sweet guy until he requested nudes, and Lux turned him down. Then he tried to bully Lux to give in to his demands because he felt she owed him. However, he got nothing from her. Adult star April O'Neil also had an interesting encounter with a fan. See, experience has taught April to be wary of her fans, especially the seemingly nice ones. However, it only took one small mistake for a fan to track her down. April O'Neil's creepy admirer. April O'Neil accidentally tagged her location in one of her social media photos. Then a fan emailed her, "Hey, I just want to let you know it's really easy to find your address, and I wanted to let you know it was out there." Right away, April could sense a negative energy from him, as he had seemed passive-aggressive. Days after the warning, this guy sent flowers to her house, and she was creeped out. This means that April truly wasn't safe, and he now knew where she lived. Stars face a lot of harassment because of the misconceptions about their profession. The crazy thing is, there's no way of knowing who might betray them next. It could even be someone close to their family looking to exploit them. Cassandra Cain exposes blackmailer. Cassandra Cain was blackmailed by someone close to her family. Cain's younger sister's friend found out that she was acting, so he thought he could get her to sleep with him by blackmailing her. He threatened to tell her mother that she was acting in X-rated films, but he was in for a shock. Cain's not one to mess with. She confessed to her mom before the young blackmailer had the chance to, and her mother was okay with her choice of her career. Furthermore, the adult movie industry has brought fame to one of its youngest actresses, Piper Perry, but it has also brought pain and chaos into her life. Piper Perry's dark story. Piper Perry has received more death threats than she can count on one finger.
I've had to report people before for posting beheaded bodies to my social media and telling me that that's gonna be me one day.
In April 2016, Piper was out of town working, and she had left her 2-year-old son, Hayden Axel Umbenhauer, in the care of her boyfriend, Seth Riddell. The child had been full of life days before Piper left, but she had to cut her trip short when she learned that her son was hospitalized. Piper's boyfriend, Riddell, claimed that the child fell and struck his head at the back of the house, but Riddell changed his story so many times that it was hard to tell what truly happened to the toddler. Sadly, the boy died, and medical reports showed that his injuries were identical to shaken baby syndrome. This means someone, perhaps Riddell, had violently shaken the child. In response to that, Seth said he only shook the boy to get him to wake up after he fell and became unconscious. Riddell was charged with second-degree murder and sentenced to 5 years in prison without benefit of parole. If only these fans had taken the time to watch the behind-the-scenes footage of how films are made. Perhaps that would lessen the harassment stars suffer at the hands of their fans. If you enjoyed watching this video and would love to explore more videos like this, then go ahead and click on any of the cards on your screen.